It was the summer of 2006 when narcissism, rage, jealousy, and a cheating girlfriend turns into a rampage of mass murder. Michael O'Neill, 26, construction worker, and younger girlfriend, Raven Wisterfield, bartender, have been together for a few happy years. They also have a 3-year-old son, Michael Jr. Raven started to work extra hours since the local bar was picking up, but Michael was not happy at all about this. How was he going to see if some guy was looking at his Raven? How much she will enjoy the attention of another man? Why did he have to be home with Michael Jr. while Raven has fun and doesn't care for their son? One day he was ordering lunch at a local deli and overheard a couple of young guys talking about a woman in a bar. How her sexy smile and body gets whatever she wants. They were laughing and sharing that she needs a real man in her life. At that moment, Michael saw red. Were they talking about me? Were they talking about my Raven? He decided to follow the guys to see where they were going next. They worked at one of the cornfields. 2 days later, there was an emergency call from a man stating he had been stabbed and shot, but then there was total silence. They traced the call for a location, which led them to a bloody mass murder in the middle of a cornfield. Their authorities found one male and one female fatally shot and stabbed multiple times, and one male barely breathing, but still alive. He was one of the men from the deli. Michael and Raven were part of a police manhunt for more than 2 weeks before they were caught just miles from the attack scene. The one survivor gave the court a gruesome and chilling testimony, which included Michael shooting them one shot at a time and allowing them to try and find their way out of the cornfield. When he caught up with them, he would laugh as they screamed while he would stab them to their death. The laugh still haunts him to this day. Michael was given 2 life sentences without parole, and then 6 months later, Raven was charged as an accessory and sentenced 12 years. Who was the female, you may ask? The girlfriend of the survivor who caught him and Raven having an affair. Growing up, I lived in the middle of a small island off the northeast coast. My school at that time was a little over a mile away. Cornfields lined up all along the road. During those days, I was bullied often by this bitch, Ashley. She also lived nearby. She just loved to humiliate me in front of others, then pretend to be sorry and sometimes act nicely when nobody was around. One day in school, her taunts were getting too much, and she had the entire class laugh at me. We wound up fighting and received detention. By the time we'd left detention and started our walk home, the sun had already started setting, and the dark was closing in. We walked in silence, except for the random mumbles of disapproval from Ashley, bitching at me for getting her in detention. I was still pissed off, especially from the years of bullying, and this mumbling was sending me off the edge. I look up from walking and notice that we were walking past the larger cornfield. I decided to blurt out before I could even stop myself. "Did you see that?" "Shut up, freak. Don't talk to me," she said. "No, seriously, Ashley, look." She turned slowly to look at what I was pointing at. The cornfield was still, and she scoffed. "There's nothing there. Shut up and keep walking." Just as she turned away, a small gust of wind moved the corn, so it looked as if somebody was moving through the field. Look, there's someone there." I knew she was starting to get pissed off with me. "So what? It's probably just the farmer." "This time of night? I don't think so. I think we should go and have a look." Ashley just wanted to get home, not falling for my prank. So I decided the only way to get her to stay was to tell her, "Whatever, you can keep going. I understand if you're too scared, but I'm going to check and see what that was. I started to walk off. I guess Ashley thought it better to be with me than alone in the dark because she followed. My plan was simple. Get her into the field, run and hide from her. Wait a little bit, then jump out on her. Just freak her out. Nice and easy. She'd get scared, then mad, and I would feel a whole lot better. The corn was well over our head and was a bit creepy. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Ashley was freaking out and I was smiling and feeding her fears. It'll be fine, unless it's ghosts or drug dealers or something. After a minute or so, I decided to slow down and let her take the lead since she was being bossy. Also, to get behind her to find the spot to scare her. It didn't take too long for her to realize I was not walking with her. She shouted frantically, "Freak, where are you? Stop playing tricks, or I'm leaving you in here." I heard the fear in her voice and getting excited on my revenge. I decided to take it up a notch and throw a ball of dirt over the corn towards her. Ashley gasped and she cursed me out. She said she was leaving. Now was the time to make my move. I waited until she was close and readied myself. Any second now. Ah! I jumped out on her, screaming as loud as I could, but no one was there. What the? Did she just play me this whole time? I just stood there, confused. That was the moment I heard a loud, blood-curdling scream from a distance. I started to run towards the scream and yell out her name. I was so scared. I can hear my own blood pumping in my ears. I was thinking, how the heck am I going to find my way out? I then just stopped, trying to breathe quietly, looking around and trying to hear for breathing or crying or something from Ashley. "Ashley," I whispered. I then instantly regretted it. What if I'm next? Shit. I heard something, a movement ahead. I was about to run to see if it was Ashley, and then there was this screeching giggle, like a hyena. And I hear a second one. The hair on the back of my neck stood on end. I was shaking while my muscles were so tense. And I slowly turned around and thought, run, now. I ran as fast as I could from the screeching sound. I didn't know where I was anymore. I just needed to get out. Finally, I reached the road, almost vomiting, gasping for my breath. I still had to run home, and it seemed so far away. Ashley's body parts were found 2 months later, totally mutilated and spread to various areas of the cornfield. Some people say revenge is a dish best served cold. Some people say revenge is only to be taken on those that truly deserve it. I say avoid it. Avoid it at all costs. Living with the guilt is something you never get used to.